It's Chantel with Wildberry Quilting, and today I am going to show you how to start a cross stitch project. So let's get started. All right, now we have everything kitted up and we are needing to prepare our fabric to stitch on. Now, this fabric was charted for 14 count Aida. I am using 16 count. The 14 count would have come to 7 inches. My 16 count is going to come to a smaller size than that. It's like 16 something. I would normally use a size 18-inch hoop, or not 18-inch. I would normally use a size 8-inch hoop. However, I can't find my 8-inch hoops. So I'm using the next best thing, which is an 11-inch. That means I'm going to have to cut my fabric a little bit larger than I normally would. Normally, I would go onto fatquartershop and use their calculator for finding out what size I need to make it. And you can find their cross stitch calculator all the way down at the bottom of their page. But 3 inches on each side would normally have me cut this to be 12 and 1/8 inches. I need it to be able to fit my frame though, my hoop. So I am going to cut mine to be 12.5 inches. That's really probably about as small as I'd want to go for this hoop, for using this hoop. So I'm just going to set this down and measure out. I've got 12.5 inches, and I need a bigger ruler. So I'm just going to measure this out and see where 12.5 inches brings me to, which would be this line right here. And I'm going to cut out my fabric to be 12.5 inches. And then I can turn my fabric again and see where 12.5 inches brings me, which would be to this line. And I'll cut that out as well. And the rest of this will be bonus scrap fabric for other projects. So now I've got my hoop. Before I put on the pieces on the side of this, what I'm going to do is mark where I'm going to start. I have a corner gauge, and if you have a corner gauge where these holes are drilled through, you could simply set it like this and mark into the holes. Mine is not drilled through. So instead, what I will do is I will lay it at the edge like this. And then I can mark right there. So I know this is going to be my starting point. And it doesn't really matter if I use this as the bottom corner, with the top corner, or where, as long as I keep in mind that is my starting point. You do want to use some kind of an erasable pen or marker in order to do that though. And now I can hoop this up. Now there are 2 different ways that you can hoop this. You can hoop this right over the top so that your design will be, on top of things, or you can hoop from underneath. And then your design is sunken in to the hoop. Now, I do prefer it over the top, but there are definite benefits to having it hooped underneath to where it's sunken in. It means that when you go to do any kind of work on the back, like sink your stitches, you are not bumping into the sides of your frame at all. Everything is even with the sides of the frame, and it really helps out in that situation. I can't think of any benefits to having it on top, but I just like it that way. So, all right. Now, I do take a precaution before I hoop this up. I like to protect my fabric with little scraps of batting. And this helps in case maybe your Q-snap is a little bit too tight and you have any kind of, it'll help keep it from snagging at all. This also helps if you have a larger design and you have to move your hoop over the top of finished stitches. These will help protect your stitches from getting messed up by the clamps of your Q-snap. So I'm going to hold off on putting these side ones on, and I'm going to secure it from either side first. You want to work one side to the other across, and you want to leave them facing down enough to where you can tighten it by rolling them outwards like this. So don't put it at the edge to where it's barely, to where you don't have room to roll it out. I always kind of start mine right over the top like this, and then I have plenty of room to roll it. And then again on this side. And you can see I can roll that, and now it's very taut in the frame, and you can actually hear it almost sounds like a drum when you tap it. That's what you're looking for. All right, this is all set and ready to go. I just need to put my needle minder on here and start stitching. I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if it was, please remember to hit the thumbs up button, the like button. I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you can come back and see more helpful tips like this. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.